We're going to take a quick look now at a thing called a decimal number system. This is the number system that most of us are familiar with. I've just put on the board there the numbers that are contained within that system, and they go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And with those numbers, we can represent any number of any magnitude that we care to mention. Each digit that we use in our number system relies on a thing called a place value. So if we've got, I'll just put a few of the place values down on the screen now. So if we look at, let's have a look. We'll start with 1,000. And then we'll move across to 100. And then we'll go down to 10. And then we'll go down to a thing called units. So what we're actually saying there is that if we had a number such as 5,565, what we're actually saying is that that number would be made up of 5,655. I think that's the number I said. If I can get that to go in. What we're saying is that we've got, let me get this pen, we've got 5 of 1,000, so we can write that like that. We've got 6 of hundreds, so we would write that like that. And we've got 5 of tens, and we can write that like that. And we've got 5 of units, and we can write that just like that there. And if we were to add all of those up, then we come out with this number that we've just said, which is 5,655. And that's where the place value comes into it. Now, in order to maybe emphasize the position of the place value, if I said to you, if I could add a 1, let's say this was your salary in a month, £5,655. If I said to you, right, I'm going to add a 1 to any one of those numbers on there, which number would you choose? Well, the most significant part of that number is this number here. That's the most significant, because whatever we do to that number will have the most significant effect. So if I said to you, I'm going to add 1 digit to your monthly salary, and you decided to add it to that one, then you wouldn't be very wise to do that. Because that's the least significant part of that number. The number that you would add it to is this one here. So you would add 1 to that, and you would come out with 6,655. So you can see that small changes that we make to these numbers on the left make a big difference to the actual number that we're dealing with. Okay, in addition to this number system, we have another thing that we can use called a decimal point. And that decimal point allows us to notate small parts of a whole number as well. So for example, if we wanted to write down the number of, let's say, 1.5, one way to do that in the decimal system would be to write the 1 there, put a decimal point there, and a 5 there, and that would equate to 1.5, which is 1.5. So you can see there where the decimal point comes in then to make numbers smaller than a whole number. So that part there, if I just highlight that, that part there is smaller than a whole number. It's a fraction of it. In fact, it's 0.5, which we represent in there. Okay.